Hey friends, in today's video we'll be making a granny square with a flower. So what I'm using today is loops and thread yarn. And if you look, you will see we need a US I9 hook or 5.5 millimeter. We have this here. You'll see the measurements here. We'll need a crochet needle to pull in our tails and a handy dandy scissor. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with the first color. I'm using yellow. And we are going to get the yarn on our hook. Slip knot. All right, we are ready. We're going to chain 3. Then we're going to look here in the very first loop we made. Pull through to a slip stitch, holding this down so you can kind of see where we're going to be working into, kind of like a U. Bring our tail down and chain 1, and then I'm going to do 12 double crochets in this hole here. You'll see it better as we go in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can start to see the hole kind of taking more of an, it's more obvious as you continue to crochet in it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way to 12. 5, 7. If I don't count out loud, I kind of lose track. So it's 7, 8, 9, and I keep the tail under so it's less to, I guess, sew in later. 10, 11, and 12. You can do a quick check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then we're going to go slip stitch into this first stitch here. And chain 1. There we have our center. You can go ahead and cut and pull it through. I like to sew in as we go along. So this has already been kind of thread in as we went along. It's crocheted under. So we can just bring this through a couple back in if we like. It's pretty secure in there anyways. This to me is the hardest part of crocheting, which is why I do it as I go. It would be too much to do it all at the end for me. Pull that back through, and then where we cut, fold it over, thread it through the hole. Make sure you see the back here, and then we're going to sew it through. We'll go this way. And then back around, get really secure, and We'll cut that off. All right, there we have our start of our flower. We're going to go to our next color. As you see here, it's green. Get this. And we're going to work through the front loops here. So here's the stitch. You're going to work through this front. Each one of these stitches, not both. You're going to just take one. We're going to work through the front loops. So put your hook through the front of one of them. Bring it through. Loop stitch and then chain one. We're going to do 2 double chains into that same loop. Then we do chain 2, and then we're going to go back into that same loop and do a slip stitch. There we are. All right, then we go to the next one, only the front. I'm going to slip stitch, chain 2, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and a chain 2, and slip stitch into that same loop. Oops. And here you'll start to see the petals forming. So we're going to do that in every loop, every stitch, so we'll have 12 petals. Slip stitch, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and chain 2. Finish that petal off with a slip stitch, and onto the next. Slip stitch, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets, so you can see all in the front loop. So it looks like it kind of gets big. It's going to pull, but it'll all even out. And you're only going to this front here. So that's, we had 1 more double crochet, chain 2, and right back in here, slip stitch. So there we have 4. I'm going to go ahead and do the next 8, and I'll meet you in a second. All right, so we have our 12 petals we just finished doing. And we finished with this last slip stitch. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn it over. And so to each of the loops that we did the petals in, there's a second loop, and that's what we're going to be working into. So we did a chain 1. Now we're going to do 2 half double crochets in each loop. That's your 12th petal. Yarn over, one half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. You can fold the petals down and you'll see exactly where the second half of that loop. Yarn over, All right, so yarn over, putting 2 in each one. All right, I'm going to do that in all 12 spots. You see the petal, and we're right behind it working in it. So here's the next one right there. We're going to work through all 12, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so we've gone through each of the 12 loops behind here, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, chain 1, and cut this off and go to our next color. We will sew that in momentarily. So, a nice start. Next, we're going to go to purple, and we're going to be working through the front of these loops again, like we did the first time. So I'll start, here's where we came off, go right through here, just the top of the loop. We'll bring that up, drop the tail, and we're going to chain 1. Then we're going to keep the tail there so we can crochet over it. Do 1 double crochet into that same loop, into the next loop. We are going to do 1 double crochet, and actually I'm going to keep this tail here. We'll crochet over it still. I'm going to chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch to that same loop. So there's really 2 stitches here and 2 stitches here, back to back. Then we're going to go into our next loop. So here, keep the tail there, crochet over it. We're going to slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, and then work into the next stitch. 1 double crochet, chain 2, and then slip stitch. There you have the second set of petals behind the first. And each one petal is taking up 2 loops. All right, so here we go. Working in the slip stitch to the front only, chain 2, and double crochet. Then we're moving into the next loop, double crochet, chain 2, and then we are slip stitching, and that's that petal. So now we have the 3 petals, 1 more, and then I'll leave you to meet you at the end. So the next loop is front only. We're going to slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet into the same loop, and for the rest of the petal we're going to go into the next, we're double crocheting into the next loop, chain 2, and then slip stitch. There you can see it starting to take shape. All right, I'll see you at the end. All right, we finished our 12 back petals. Oops. That's there. We are going to slip stitch this first loop over here just to connect them. We're going to chain one and we're going to move to the back. So press these petals forward and you can see very clearly where we'll be working. All right, so you can pick any one of these, but what we're going to do is we're going to do one double crochet in one loop, and for the second loop, two double half crochets. And you'll see as we go along. The first one, where are you? We'll work in this one. All right, so around one half double, and we're going to go to the next loop and do two half double crochets. 1, 2. The next one, we're back to the 1. Oh, just 1. The yarn splitting a little bit. Here we go. So you can see 2 in that one, 1 here. So onto the next one, we'll do 2. 1 and 2. So you'll see that's right behind the petals. You push them forward, you can see them, and you'll see it growing like this. All right, so we did 2 for this. Now we're on to 1. 1 half double. Next loop, we'll do 2 half doubles. 1, 2. So we're going to keep going like that in that pattern. And I'll meet you when we come back here. Okay, we just finished the last loop we had there. We're going to join where we started. Oh, no, we didn't finish. We actually have 2 more. So, 1 half double. 1 out 2. Where are you? This is why I like to sew them in first. 1 and then 1 more. Okay, now we're back to where we started. We are going to slip stitch to the top of that and chain 1, cut, and pull through. I'm going to go ahead and sew these in real quick. I won't put you through the torture of watching, but these will be sewn on and I'll be right back. Okay, we are sewn in nice and clean, and we can now move to our next color. Nice start to a flower. We'll be going to pink. Again, working in the front loops. Start right here to the side of where we chained off. Bring this through, slip stitch, let the tail hang down, and we're going to chain 2. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet to that same loop, and then we're going to the next loop, and we're going to do 2 treble crochets. Because of the treble, we're going to loop twice, yarn over twice, that loop, 1, 2, 3, one more treble crochet, 1, 2, 3. Then to the next loop, we'll do one double, oh, where are you at? One double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch right here, and that is the first petal of the next row. You can kind of see them growing in size. Okay, so we're going to go to the next loop. We're going to slip stitch, again only working in the front. Slip stitch, chain 2, bring the tail behind so we can crochet it in and secure it. 1 double crochet in that same loop, and then we're going to go to the next loop with 2 treble crochet. So yarn over twice, the front only, 1, 2, 3 times, 1 more of those. Oop, tab it to do double. All right, treble, 1, 2, 3. Tail got sucked up in there, but I'm okay with that. And then the next one we do the 1 double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch to finish that petal off. So we have 2 petals. We'll do 1 more here, then you guys can pause and I'll meet you at the end. So we're finding the next stitch, nope, slip stitch, so no yarning over, chain 2, double crochet, then we're going to do 2 trebles in the next loop, oops, yarn over twice, 1, 2, 3, back to doubles, the next one, and then chain 2, and finish that petal off with a slip stitch. 3 of those behind there. All right, I'm going to go all the way around and I'll see you in a second. If you liked today's video, like and subscribe, and come back and check out how I turned this pillow into this. See you later.